let's talk about layers and blocks. So there's a special layer called layer 0, and we use that specifically to create blocks that can be associated with any layer. So here's two examples. I've created a drawing of a screw here. It's not a block at present, and I'm going to create a block called screw 1 layer, and that will be created on the screw layer, and then I'm going to create another block on this screw 1 layer, but that's going to be on layer 0. Okay, so let's create the first block. Okay, so BL for block. Okay, I'm going to call this screw 1 layer screw. Okay, I'm going to pick my point. It's just going to be in the midpoint here. And I'm going to select my objects. I'm going to select this here. And I'm going to select this here. Right, and that's my block. And I'm going to convert to a block, and that's okay. Right, and then I could create this block here now. It's actually created on block 0. Like if I select this here, you'll see from the properties that it's there we go. Properties here. We can see that it's on layer 0. Okay, so all of this has been created on layer 0, but just to make sure, I'm just going to go to layer 0 and go BL for block, and then call this screw 1 layer 0. I'm going to pick my point, and then have that as my midpoint. I'm going to select my objects. Okay, that's okay. Now we'll see the difference here, right? If I go to, say, joint line, and I insert a block, IN for insert, I've got these two blocks here, right? So I'm going to put in screw 1. I'm just going to pick any point here. And then I'm going to put, this is the screw that's on the 0 block. Now, the difference is that the screw that was created on layer screw retains that original information, that it was written on layer screw, and this one that was created on layer 0 gets converted to the in layer. That's my instruction, insert layer. Let's try it on dowels. Let's see what happens there. Okay, so I'm going to put in this screw layer. And now let's do this layer here. Okay, so nearest again. Okay, so now I have 3 screws that were originally created on the screw layer. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to go to def points here. What happens if I turn off the steel layer? All those screws that were inserted on those other layers get turned off. And then if I want to turn this layer off, because it was created on layer 0, I can just turn off the in layer, and then this was created on, is it the dowels layer? The dowels layer, yeah, so I can turn that off because it was created on the dowels layer. Okay, so generally when we're creating blocks that aren't too complex, we'd create them on the 0 layer. It causes less confusion and less problems in general.